moving around or stuff like that. You've got a bug or something.
Thank you. You see, so God gave a false sign.
Yes, he does that to some people.
Isaiah
does that.
and said to him, you are going to have a child with your new wife, and that child will be named Emmanuel. And the meaning of the Emmanuel means God is with us. That means the fight that Ahaz is going, God is with him, and he will win the battle.
I just said that.
Do you understand?
I just said that.
Very good. So the name was given to the son as Emmanuel, and the meaning is God is with us. Fine, let's go to this as I'm coming.
It's okay now. I want to read it.
That's right.
Your salvation. Let me ask you something. What's your nationality? All this talk about Ahaz and all that.
What time did you come here? Anyway?
Not too long ago.
No, what time? On Sundays or Saturdays?
Yeah, Saturdays.
What time?
I come here roughly around this time.
Oh, so you just started?
Yeah, not too long ago. What's the time now?
Saturday I can come here 3 o'clock.
Oh, okay. I'll be here.
Then we talk a lot.
Bring your Bible.
I will. No, I need.
How many books you got in your Bible?
I need Living Bible.
How many books you got in your Bible?
How many books in my Bible? Torah.
No, how many books? 55, 66. How many books is there?
I don't get.
The Bible's got how many books? How many books in this one?
I don't know.
66 books.
66 books.
Yeah. Books. That makes 80. They took it out. They took this book out. 1776 to hide. They took this out to hide information from us. This comes in the King James 1611. This is in there, right? If you get the 1611, this is in there. But if you get the normal Bible, they took this out. You know why? Because it talks about Antiochus and Alexander. It tells you who the devil is. Who's the devil on the earth? Because there's a devil in the spiritual realm, and there's a devil on earth. You couldn't tell me that. These are the things you couldn't tell me. That's what I'm trying to tell Ahaz and all that. It's irrelevant. You've got enemies on the earth. Did you take the drugs? Took them, yeah? Why? You believe you take the trust in God?
Well, I do trust in God, but God protected himself.
No, he said, don't go down to Egypt for help. You putting that stuff in it now, what is in it? You know what's in it? See what I mean? What did the guy say? What did the health minister say? You're going to do it to the black people first.
He can't.
Why did he say that? All of a sudden he's got your interest at heart because he knows you're going to get rid of the black people first. So you putting that poison in it now, yeah? You've defiled your body. So when we send out any other plague now, it's going to suppress your immune system. You're going to fund it.
I would like to talk to you, but at the moment the time is too small. So next week Saturday. Oh no, it's just
that's Muslim.
Yeah, no, I'm not Muslim.
Yeah,
I like
that's a Muslim.
No, I like it. It's
Yeah.
nice. I like it.
But that goes back to idol worship.
I'm not Muslim, but
When you
I
go
like
home, take it off and put it down. That's idol worship. God is looking at you with that on your finger.
Okay.
You understand?
Next week Saturday, I'll see
you
you.
probably see me, yeah? Alright. What's that, Bob? Interesting, yeah? That's the mark of the beast. After the system crashes, this is what they're going to plug with it. Yeah? Plugging everybody with that. Huh? I'm going to walk on my side. Yeah, the number of disease is 666. But it tells you in Revelation. It says, and he causes all, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or his number his name, therefore wisdom let us hear and understand. The number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and the number is 600, 366. So what they're going to do now, as you can see, the society now, they're going into Bitcoin. And they're going to crash. They're trying to stock market. They're going to crash the stock market, and they're going to say, right, it's called order and chaos. Pressure above, pressure from beneath. They're going to say the only way you can go to Tesco's now, if you take this mark of the beast, if you take that chip, because we're not going to have no money. Right? As soon as you take that mark, death is coming to you. Because the one you call Jesus Christ, the black guy, by the way, is not like this. This is a lie. Where are you from? What country? Eritrea? Somalia? Eritrea. Oh, it's good for us best, isn't it? But you're not Eritrean, there's no such thing as an Eritrean. Yeah? Because we all got our biblical nationality. Right? You're cushites. You know about, yeah, you know that, see? This is a wise guy. You know about cushites? Yeah, you can see, you want to hang out with this guy. Yeah? He might wise in you up. Push. Yeah? You're going to the Babylonian king, Nebuchadnezzar. And you're going, what's the other one? Nimrod. Yeah? Nimrod. Right? They were cushites. One time, you owned the whole known world at one time. Yeah? But you had us, Israelites, in slavery. All nations had us in slavery. Now we're in the last, Israelites, us, the black Hispanics, we're in our last captivity. That's why we see our last captivity is under the Greco-Roman Empire. Yeah? So for white is our big brother, Esau. We're more closer, because we've got brown skin, see we've got brown skin, the Israelites are more closer to the white man than we are to you. You are the sons of Ham. We are the sons of Shem. You know about Noah had 3 sons, yeah? Ham, Shem, and Japheth. And out of the whole, because the world got flooded, and out of that, we repopulated. Yeah? But at the end of the day, see these shops and all this? This is all going to close down. Yeah? Right? Because they're having problems at the moment. We've got people lining up at petrol stations. Right? This is all happening because the black Christ is on his way back. And now people don't know that. They're walking around in their simplicity. You understand? So what are you going to do when the shops close? What are you going to do?
Pray out to Jesus.
Jesus? Yeah. That's not his name. You might as well pray to Humpty Dumpty. You've got a better chance. Right, you're another, let me see, Somalian. How do I know that? Huh? Because I'm a spiritual guy. I called it Eritrean, Somali. They're not much different from each other. But I know, yeah? I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. I'm a Benjamite, God's chosen. Yeah?
Benjamin, West India.
So-called. Because West is a direction and Indian means savage. So when the white man conquered us, he said savages from the West. That's why you got East Indians. Savages from the East. You know what I mean? Savages from the West and so forth and so on.
What do you believe?
I'm not. Yes, I'm not. One of my friends is Somalian as well. I spoke to him today. He's having problems at the moment. But he's into Islam. I know Somalians is Islamic. They're into Islam. Yeah. And what it is, I told him how did Islam come to Somalia?
Yeah.
How did it get there? No way. They look This is, oh yeah, it's a woman's world at the moment, isn't it? So let them know.
Islam, like they went to Europe.
Okay, Islam. I got a book here for you. I got the Quran right here, yeah?
Nah, bro.
Quran. This is one of the best Qurans you're gonna get. I went to that show.
In Islam, like, if you're not Muslim, you shouldn't handle the Quran.
Why not?
It's a message of God, like.
That's what you're telling me. Show me. All right, let me show me one prophecy. Show me a prophecy. What was in there to say what's going to happen in the future or past?
Me myself, I'm not the most knowledgeable person.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to say. There is no prophecy.
But you shouldn't. Like,
why not? Why shouldn't I handle it?
You shouldn't handle it with disrespect. Like.
No, I've got it in my bag. What's disrespecting it?
Like, it's just lying on a lot of books. Like.
My Bible's in there. Why is my Bible in there, lying there?
No,
so I'm showing the same respect. Look, I'm showing the same respect.
That's not respect.
I can show that. It's only a
That's
book.
respect.
Yeah, it's
That's
only a
people's
book.
beliefs.
Huh?
That's people's
Yeah,
beliefs.
but some beliefs. Let me show you something about Islam. Yeah. Let me show you something. Right. This is a scholar. Yeah. Rudolf R. Windsor went out and done his thing when they go out and do the archaeology. This is what he said. When Muhammad was born, many Arabs were still worshipping the sun, the stars, the spirits, and idols. The Arabs possessed 360 idols, one for each day of the year. Muhammad was born in AD 570. Yeah? Four years after the death of Emperor Justinian. He was descended from the tribe of Quraysh and the family of Hashem. Yeah? His mentality was prejudice. In his youth, he was never taught how to read and write. But his imagination was superlative.
What proof do you have that
Yeah?
imagination?
Muhammad was extraordinarily handsome man and eloquent in motivating men with the power of his words. Right? You know this, isn't it? He's smiling.
No, but why do you say
In
he
the
had
end-
imagination?
It says it here. He was very imaginative.
But
We
he
couldn't
was
read
never-
it.
but
All
he
right, let me
was
ask you this: to read and write, what you got to counter if you can't read and write? Your
You don't
imagination.
understand.
No, your imagination.
You have to talk. You have to be a talker.
No, but your imagination comes up because you can't read and write, so you have to imagine a lot more. That's what he's just saying here.
How are you going to express your imagination?
Yeah, well, the Roman Catholic Church under Khadija, his wife Khadija, innit? You know his wife Khadija. And he had another wife called what?
Aisha.
How old was she?
That was different times.
No, how old was she?
That was different.
No,
times.
she won't even tell me how old she is.
But that was a different
Why would he
time.
tell me? Why won't you tell me?
I don't know how old she is. I
You
don't know.
know exactly
Well,
how
I
old
swear
she
to
was.
God, I
She's
don't know
6
how
years old.
They didn't marry at 16.
Look, don't tell me. I've got the hadith at home, bro.
Yeah, but they never
The
married at
hadith is
6.
wild. It tells you all
They
about
never
it.
married at 6.
All
How
right,
old
but
were
let's
they
not
at
talk
9?
about that because every time I mention that, people get touchy. That's why they got big men nowadays, 6-year-old girls. It's not right. Anyway, let's see. And it says here, in the early years of Muhammad's life, he passed his time as a shepherd boy. Yeah, you know this, isn't it? Right. We must remember that many successful men had arisen from the insignificant of humble conditions, watching the sun by day and the stars by night. Left opportunity for Muhammad to complete in solitude and reflect on the events of profilities of the world. After Muhammad became a camel driver, he travelled to the remote and intriguing lands. He led his caravans to Persia, Syria, Egypt, transactioning business with merchants of every kind. This is the point. On his business trips, he met Jews, right? Our people, Israelites, Christians, and members of other sects. He interrogated them concerning the tenets of their religions. Yeah.
No, this wasn't before he was. The message of Islam wasn't happening.
No, this is where he telling you what he done. He frequented the environment of the Jews and their rabbis, mostly because they were merchants and omnipresent ethnic groups. So Muhammad hanged around us and asked us about our God, asked us about our so-called religion. It says it. Because he could not read and write, his ears was very attentive and keen to everything the Jews related to him. Muhammad learned and extracted much from the Jewish religion and compounded it with his new religion, Islam. What comes first, the Bible or the Quran? Right, so it's showing you the Torah is part of the Bible. It's the first book, first five books.
The Torah and the Bible were made by two different books.
No, they're not. No, they're not. It's a compilation of.
But the Torah came to Moses.
Yeah, the Torah comes to Moses.
And
Yeah.
the Bible came to Jesus.
No,
Esau.
it's the Bible. What does Bible mean?
Bible's a book.
Biblos, what means books.
Yeah.
Right? So all it was, you got the laws, the first 5 books of Moses, yeah, and then you got the prophets, yeah, what come
But
after
the Bible
that.
wasn't
Yeah?
even written when Jesus was alive.
And we know that. We know
So
that.
how do you know something that was written by people who are not only the prophet, who were
You know
around?
why?
The Quran was written with
The Quran has got no prophecies.
It has stuff that has happened. The prophet split the moon in half. How do you know what Jews done was wrong?
Because it's actually been fitted in the
Go
Bible.
on. The prophet predicted planes. He predicted phones.
Yeah, show me where it's been.
I don't know the exact.
I don't want to hear
Google it.
No, you Google it and show me. I'm not going to do all that. I want you
But
to
then
show me.
then
We
you're-
got prophecies in
then
the
you're not-
Bible.
Then how am I more knowledgeable you on the suspect?
You're not more knowledgeable. What's your nationality?
I'm Somali, I'm British.
See, where was Somalia back in the ancient time? Where did that come
It was
about?
Habash.
Huh?
It was Habash. It was part of East
What about before that? Who is the progenitor of the so-called Cushite? That's who you are. You're not Somali, you're a Cushite. Like I explained to that
The names
chapter.
we give them.
No, that is your progenitor. That's your father. Everybody's got a father. Because your father had a father, and his father had a father, and it goes all the way back. So the progenitor, your progeny, your progenitor. Everyone's got a progenitor, the first one. Right? So who's your first father? See? And you've got more knowledge than me.
I'm talking about religion.
I'm not talking about what does religion mean? Since you know everything, yeah. No. Religion, the word religion goes back to a Greek word, religio, what means to hold back. It's a Latin word, hold back, keep back, and restrain. That's what religion means.
The word exactly.
So every word has got a meaning.
Okay,
So you haven't got no
What does
knowledge
deen mean in
there.
Arabic?
Huh?
What does deen mean?
I'm not Arabic. I'm a Hebrew. Ask me in Hebrew.
Okay, how do you say believe in Hebrew? Like, what do you believe in? How do you say your religion in Hebrew?
I say Yasharallah, which means the princes of God. How about that? I'm one of the princes of God. How about that?
So you're a prince of God?
Are you a prince of God?
No, I'm not.
Oh, so that's all that's thing. So I have more knowledge than you. I've got all the
So how
knowledge
are you a
here
prince of God? What can you prove to me that you're a prince of God?
by prophecy.
Okay, what's the prophecy?
Okay. Let me show you something that was written 2,000 years ago. Yeah? Deuteronomy. How did us so-called black people get to the Americas and these islands? How did we get here?
Take it, alright?
But how? What was the means?
Boats.
Huh?
Ships.
Right, let's read it in the Bible. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 60, and it says, "And the Lord shall bring you into Egypt again with ships." Now, Egypt, what does Egypt mean?
Around the Muslim, innit?
Oh?
It's in like, it's in Asia, it's Muslim.
Let's see what the word Egypt means. Let's go Exodus 20 and 2, and it says, and this is Exodus 20 and 2, and it says, "I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage." So what does Egypt mean? What does bondage mean?
Sexual, whatever.
No. See? You're corrupted. Bondage means to be bonded, tied, captive. Right? So the Lord said, let's go back to Deuteronomy 28 and let's put the word bondage in there. Okay? And it says, 28 and 68, "And the Lord shall bring you into bondage
What is
again."
this a Bible you're reading?
This is King James.
Okay, when was this made?
1611. Completed.
1611.
Yeah.
How many years after? That's 16. That's 1,611 years after Jesus.
No, because why? You've got to realise, I've got all the information here. Right? Let's see what King James done.
Okay, this is not after.
Let's see, because you've got to realise what happened. King James Version, yeah? This is why we read the King James Version, alright? King James, and it says, when Elizabeth died in 1603, the crown passed to James I, who had been King of Scotland for 37 years as King James VI. Several months after he ascended to the throne of England, he authorized a new translation of the Bible to replace the Bishop's Bible. 47 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars of the day were divided into 6 groups. 3 for the Old Testament, what you said, 2 for the New, and 1 for the Apocrypha, the book they took out, yeah? In 1776, the Bible destruction. Just like I was telling that guy, they took books out, they got 80 books in the Bible, they took some out, he talked about Alexander the Freak, talked about Antiochus Epiphanes. These are all devils what had us in captivity. And it says here, two of the groups met at Oxford, where we established all these so-called prestigious universities and higher learning, and 2 at Cambridge, 2 at Westminster, right? When the group had completed its task, its works were submitted to 12 men. Why 12 men? Vibration of 12 tribes of Israel. Everything goes on the vibration. How many months in a year? How many tectonic plates on the earth? Right. So everything's on the vibration of us because we are the chosen people. And it says here, when the groups had completed its task, its works were submitted. So this is meticulously put together. With 12 men from each of the panel, final differences and opinions were settled at a general meeting of each company. In which case, yeah, so you've got to go. So at the end of the day, you haven't got that much knowledge, my friend. Yeah? And cushites are going into slavery as well. So let's get on with the lesson, okay? See, these people come up proclaiming they know something, but they haven't got a clue, okay? They're just as blind as the rest of these people around. So, let's go back. Where was we? Let's get 1 Kings. I think it's 1 Kings 10 and 14. Let's see what that says. 1 Kings 10 and 14. 2 Kings. 1 Kings 10 and 14. Kings 10 and 14. No, that's not it. Try 14 and 10. Okay, so let's go to right, let's go to right, so let's get to Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy 32 and 7. Right? Because this world is coming to an end, this rulership, the Roman Empire, Greco is finishing. And it says, Deuteronomy 32 and 7, and it says, this is Deuteronomy, one of the books of Moses. Okay? I think it's the 3rd book, 4th book, Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, 4th book of Moses, okay? Let's get it. This is Deuteronomy 32 and 7, and it says, remember the days of old. So what are we supposed to remember? Slavery. That's one thing we're supposed to. They tell us to forget it, but the Bible says to remember the days of old, right? And it says, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee thy elders, and they will tell thee. So we're supposed to remember the slavery. They tell us to forget about it, but we're supposed to remember it. Why? Because if you forget about slavery, you're tended to do the same thing again. All right? But who put us in slavery? You've got to realise it's our God. What's that one in I need to do some more studying with the word. Let me get Baruch, because that one's clean. Where are you from, boss? Where are you from?
Myself?
Somalia?
No.
Eritrea?
No.
Ethiopia?
Yeah.
Okay, do you know what Ethiopia means?
Yeah.
What?
This it has 2-3 meanings.
Alright, what is the one that they, when the Greeks
The Greeks burnt face.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So, burnt face.
Yeah.
So, are you burnt face? Is that your national origin, burnt face?
No.
So, you're not an Ethiopian then, are you?
I am.
How can you be and it means burnt face?
I mean, that
Because
is
the
what-
Greeks, you know who coined that term?
Yeah, coin it. Yeah. That's what.
Greeks coined that term. When they saw you, they said Ethiopia, Ethiops.
Ethiopians.
Ethiops, what means burnt face. It's a Greek term.
Yeah.
So you're calling yourself the slave master.
No, we didn't say.
So how can they call us West Indians? They call us West Indians.
Yeah.
West is a direction and Indian means savage.
Yeah.
So we're savages from the West. We're not.
We're not.
Everyone's got a progenitor, a father.
You can tell me anything, but I'm not.
Right, but who are you then?
I am human being.
No,
Yes.
human means you are a human being, a man of colour, but that's not who you are.
I am.
Everybody's got a father, a progenitor.
Yeah.
Your father had a father, had a father, all the way back, goes back years.
Yeah.
So who was the first one? Your first progenitor, your first father.
My first father.
Yeah. Everyone's got a first father. You come out of his
I
balls.
believe creator. My
Huh?
creator.
No, you didn't come out of the creator's balls. You
My
come out of your...
grandparents.
No, I'm going to tell you it was because obviously you don't know. Kush. You are a Cushite.
Yeah.
Yeah? You know that, innit?
Yeah, I am.
Right. So you're not an Ethiopian. You're not a burnt thing. You're
Yeah.
a Cushite.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just like I'm an Israelite.
Yeah.
My father was Jacob.
Yeah.
Yeah? Whose name was turned to Israel.
Yeah.
I'm God's chosen.
Yeah.
Yeah? The one you call Jesus Christ is coming back for us.
Yeah.
That's why this world now is falling apart.
Yeah.
Have you got a car? Good, because you will be queuing up for petrol like the rest of these idiots. What are you going to do with food? When food, he said by Christmas, a lot of these shops are going to have no food in it. What are you going to do? You're going to start eating meat. Because that's what's coming back. Cannibalism is coming back in a big
Is
way.
it?
Of course.
Why?
When there's no, when there's no food, what happens?
I can't eat human being.
When there's no food, what happens? First,
Yeah.
pets.
Yeah.
Cats and dogs,
Yeah.
rabbits, they get eaten. They can't breed straight away, you've got to wait for it to grow, innit?
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? When you wake up the next morning hungry, what's going to happen? You ain't going to be able to go to Tesco's. You ain't going to be able to go to McDonald's or Burger King. What are you going to do? This is an island, they import everything here. Have you been watching the news? They're having problems with imports. These people are walking around with their heads in their arses.
Yeah.
They don't realise what's happening.
Yeah.
It started, that petrol crisis come over one night. The next day there was a petrol crisis.
Yeah.
The same way the food is coming. There's a food crisis, what they're not telling you about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. What are you going to do when the food crisis comes? Because a lot of these women are going to start screaming when there's no food in the shops. And they can't protect themselves. Well, they can try and be like Xena and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But that ain't going to help them because they can't fight men. Yeah? They're going to get a rude awakening.
Yeah.
Right? Because what happens when society falls apart? Who suffers first? When the society falls apart, who suffers? Which people suffer first?
Poor.
Huh?
Poor.
Poor?
Poor.
What is that? Which people in society suffer when anarchy, you know what anarchy is? What people suffer the most when there's no order, when there's anarchy?
Somebody who's poor, who is financially
No, women and children and old people, they become vulnerable, and this world is going to be vulnerable. As soon as these Edomites, these Caucasian society falls apart, women are going to be vulnerable, little children and old people, because they can't fight, they can't protect themselves. I watched a video the other night, I think it was in America,
Yeah.
because they're having problems over there now.
Yeah.
Guess what a man did? He followed this woman home. Yeah? She was lucky. She opened her door very fast and she shut it very quick. The man, the black guy, wanted to rape her. Door shut. He was upset, he couldn't get into our house. You're going to see a lot of this. See these women, a lot of them are going to get raped because the lights going on. They're having problems with the electricity. They're having problems with fuel, gas. All this is going to go out. The lights are going to go out. In China, go home. When you go home, go and have a look at, type in there China and their electricity crisis.
Okay.
It's already showing in China.
Thank you, boss.
Right?
Alright.
No food in the shop. So sharpen your knives.
Okay.
Alright? Because you're going to have human flesh is going to be at the top of the menu.
Is it?
Yeah. Might be women's flesh and children's flesh. Let's go back into the good book, okay? Let's see what happened to us. Let's get Baruch, Prophet Baruch, Jeremiah's scribe.
Yes, my brother.
Let's get Jeremiah's scribe. This is Baruch. This is Jeremiah's scribe. Come here, I'll tell you. Come here, I'll tell you. What is this, he says. And that's Jake, walking around with his head up his arse. This is Baruch, 4 and 6. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction. So we were sold to white people, not for our destruction. Because we broke the commandments of God. That's why we were sold to them. And they've done all kind of horrible things to us. Built their society 400 plus years, raped our women, fed our babies to alligators, yeah? Alligator bait they called it. It says here, you were sold to the nations. And who was we sold to mainly? The white man, sold off cargo slave ships. Yeah? And that's what he's saying. God said he was going to sell us to all these nations because we was going off. Yeah? We didn't keep his law, statutes and commandments. Alright, so he said, I'm going to sell your ignorant, knuckle-headed, evil Israelite arson to your enemies. Right? And he said, not for your destruction. Right, so he sold us, but he didn't sell us to be completely destroyed. He gave us over into the hands of our enemies